understand the scurrying that is happening here. And we've got a clip of Sean Hannity doing his, 45th version over the past 15, maybe 10 years of, I've left the Republican Party. I'm an independent. This is the last straw. No more chances. One more chance. That's it.
I'm a constitutional conservative before I'm a Republican.
Right, exactly. But before we get there, Rush Limbaugh has figured out exactly who is responsible for the failure of this Republican repeal and replace. And of course, it's the ladies.
Now we find out the Republican caucus in the Senate is infected with essentially leftist members. Collins, Murkowski, Capito. These three female leftists in the Republican caucus are running the Senate, not Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell is not running the Senate. These three women are running the Senate. The conservative Republicans in the Senate are not running the Senate. Three liberal women who called themselves Republicans are running the Senate.
Yes. Now, what's interesting about his comment that these three liberal infecting women run the Senate is that the reality is that there were a man and a woman who had said that they weren't going to vote for it. Rand Paul, a conservative, according to him, and Susan Collins. And then the bill collapsed, not because of Capito, who was certainly going to Capito, and not because of Murkowski, who also hadn't announced anything publicly, because she was also going to Capito.
What are you talking about?
The bill died when arch-conservative Mike Lee of Utah and conservative but also fairly pragmatic Jerry Moran of Kansas joined together and said they could not support the current bill. That's when it collapsed. And the story of Moran in particular saying that he couldn't support the current bill is very instructive and is, as far as I can tell, a direct result of, you want to call it the resistance of activists who fought against this bill. Dave Weigel, July 6th in the Washington Post, writing on behalf of the CIA, maybe. Weigel was actually in Kansas reporting. He was at a town hall with Senator Jerry Moran, which is the first town hall meeting since coming out against the then version of the Senate's health care bill. He didn't want the legislation jammed through on a party line vote, but he would not necessarily vote against it. In other words, he was one of those waivers at the time. And there was a bunch of them after the first version. Remember? McConnell had to go back. And he said he'd met people who tell me they're better off because the Affordable Care Act was passed, but he knew plenty of people were hurting too. This is a guy back in 2015 who was vehemently against Obamacare. But he had this town hall meeting. Planned Parenthood transported at least 20 people from the Kansas City suburbs. The city's chapter of Indivisible did the same. The American Association for Retired People and Alliance for Healthy Kansas made more calls, driving loyal voters to Palco, where the town hall took place. The result was a polite but heated round of questions that Moran occasionally chose not to answer. A 59-year-old vet asked if it was time for Medicare for all. Moran had to wait for the applause to die down and then moved on to the topic of Medicaid funding. Moran largely allowed the skeptics of the Republican bill to frame the whole conversation for all 90 minutes. A woman named Yanith Porch, 46, stood behind the senator holding up a sign with caricatures of Republican leaders and the warning, when you lose your health care, remember who took it away. They didn't try and move her. This took place in a place called Rooks County, which gave Donald Trump a 73-point landslide over Hillary Clinton. Moran beat a token Democratic opponent by 79 points, and still he was afraid. He said he did not describe the task facing Republicans as repeal. It was now repeal, repair, replace, whatever language people are using. In 2015, he said this: Obamacare was rammed through Congress on a partisan basis in the face of significant public opposition. He said he ran in 2015 on full repeal. After the town hall meeting, Moran told reporters the version of the GOP's bill that he opposed put too much of Medicaid at risk.
This is Susan Collins. Mitch, we need to seize the means of production. I won't vote for any bill that doesn't criminalize the insurance industry.
Now, it is unclear whether or not
Collins.
Senator Jerry Moran is a female.
He's having a gender operation.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos